Well, they made it inside Centene Community Ice Center here in St. Louis, Missouri, home of Lindenwood hockey. It is day one of the ACHA National Tournament. Stephen Marsh here with you. Day one is going to feature the 13 seeds through the 20 seeds playing for a chance to play the top 4 seeds. I'm not sure if that's an honor or what. But a couple of focus games to look at for day one is going to be the very first game. Because it's going to be number 13 Pittsburgh against number 20 Navy. And why is that significant? Well, because the winner of this game will play UNLV tomorrow morning at this time at 10:15 Central Time right here at this arena, USA Arena, inside the Centene Community Ice Center. So we'll have to see who UNLV gets to play. I believe the coaches may come and watch this game, so we'll see if they're here for that. Of course, we have Maryville versus John Carroll. That's another matchup. Of course, John Hogan and Maryville's program still fairly new at the D1 level, and they're doing quite well. Got to play last year at their facility at the ACHA tournament, the reduced field down, but they're competing this year as well at number 14. And then, of course, the other matchup you got is Ohio and Niagara. Not anything significant there necessarily for our purposes, but of course the last game of the night is going to be number 16 Arizona against number 17 Michigan Dearborn. That ought to be a really good game because you've got the 16 against the 17 team. You got Chad Berman, who's playing against Michigan team, which is he's from that area, so that ought to be very good. Plus, they'd love a crack at Lindenwood to maybe try to shock the world here inside their home rink tomorrow, because that's who they would play. Lindenwood would be waiting for either Arizona or Michigan Dearborn here tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens, but it's the start of 6 straight days of hockey here. 19 games for the Division I teams over the next 6 days. 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow, 4 games Saturday, 4 games Sunday. Semifinals on Tuesday or Monday, and then the finals on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. We'll be here to cover it all the week long here from St. Louis, the ACHA National Tournament 2022 tournament from the Centene Community Ice Center. Well, good morning to you from Maryland Heights, Missouri, here at the Centene Community Ice Center. I'm Stephen Marsh. I'm outside what's called the barn here, which is the outside rink here. Pretty cool, but it's a cold and snowy day here in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. But inside is where all the action's going to be today, and we've got 4 games on the docket today once again. This time it's the top 4 seeds in action as they take on the teams that won yesterday. So UNLV starts things off as the number 4 seed. Their best seeding in this tournament at this level in their program history, and they're going to be taking on Pittsburgh. UNLV, they've been waiting 3 years to kind of get a chance here at the tournament since the 2019 tournament, and so they're going to look to make a deep run this year. Of course, a WCHL member from Las Vegas. Pittsburgh, of course, winning yesterday against Navy. Then the second game, you've got Iowa State taking on Maryville, and Iowa State, been up the top 3, 5 all year long, so they're the favorites, of course. But Maryville, don't count them out. This is their area too. Their school is just up the highway, about 10 minutes or so. So they'll be looking to upset Iowa State, and there'll probably be some good fans here. You got Minot State against Ohio coming up as the other one. Minot State, of course, is the number 2 seed. Ohio, the 15 seed. Minot State, of course, knows how to win championships. They've been here before, even though with a new coach, but still a guy that's familiar with how to win there at Minot State. And then, of course, the last game of the day, Lindenwood against Michigan Dearborn. That'll be a really exciting matchup. This is their home facility. This will be their home crowd probably, so it should be a good crowd tonight to see Michigan Dearborn take on Lindenwood. So we'll see what happens. You can follow all the action today on Hockey TV. Of course, we'll be tweeting stuff all day long at ACHA_ITHSW. And we'll have a full recap on a Zoom show that Scott and I will be putting together. So until then, have a good day. Enjoy the games today. Good morning again from the Centene Community Ice Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Stephen Marsh with you. It is day 3 of the ACHA National Championships. By the way, don't mind behind me here. You've got some St. Louis people that have made the NHL right here, so that's pretty cool. But we're talking ACHA hockey today, and we're talking the 5 through the 12 seeds. That's the teams that will compete today. This is the first games for them in this tournament. 3 days in, and we're going to have some new teams playing in it as the number 5 through the 12 seeds are in action. So this will really provide some really good games. I think now the tournament is really going to start getting good, although it's been good already. We had a major upset yesterday, Minot State going down already. So what more can we have in store for this tournament? Liberty taking on Illinois. That's going to be the first matchup of the day at 10:15 a.m. Then you're going to have Central Oklahoma against Indiana Tech. That's at 1:30 p.m. A WCHL team, so we'll be following that one real closely. We'll be following Liberty as closely as well, all the games too. 4:45 Adrian the defending champions from last season, and against Missouri State, the number 10 seed, another WCHL team. And then the final game of the day will feature the number 8 seed Stony Brook against number 9 Jamestown. Again, the always dreaded 8-9 matchup. So really good games on the docket today. It should be another great day of hockey here at the Centene Community Ice Center for the Division I. Also, the other divisions going on too with their tournament, but of course we're focused on the Division I. Don't forget to watch the action. You can watch it on Hockey TV. Follow along on ACHA_ITHSW all day for updates and content. And of course, we'll have a recap show that you'll be able to watch tomorrow, recapping today's action with Scott and myself. But until then, I got to get inside because the hockey games are about to get started here in just a little bit for another 12-hour day of hockey. Should be fun. Again, Stephen Marsh here from the Centene Community Ice Center, home of the St. Louis Blues, Lindenwood University, and of course this week the ACHA National Championships. Well, good quarterfinal Sunday to you, Stephen Marsh. We're out here at Crevcoeur Lake. It's one of the largest man-made lakes in all of Missouri, 320 acres. Just about 5 minutes from here at the Centene Community Ice Center, the ACHA National Championships continue its day number 4. It's the quarterfinals. We're down to 8 people. In fact, the other 12 teams might be looking for lakes like this to go fishing. But we're down to 8 teams. UNLV, Liberty gets things started at 10:15 this morning. And then you've got Central Oklahoma and Iowa State at 1:30. That ought to be a good matchup too. The UNLV matchup will be really good too. UNLV is 2-1 against Liberty this year. So we'll see how they do in this game today. We also have Central Oklahoma against Iowa State, as I mentioned. And then you got Adrian against Ohio. Ohio may be making a little bit of a Cinderella run. They came in as the 15th seed, knocked off Minot State the other night in a thrilling game to move on. And Adrian, of course, dominated Missouri State yesterday. And then the final game of the day will be really good too. Lindenwood against Stony Brook. Stony Brook winning yesterday in that 8-9 matchup with Jamestown. Of course, Lindenwood winning their first game over Michigan Dearborn. They're the number 1 team. So it's going to be fun. I always like to say it's Sunday Fun Day. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun today because it's quarterfinal Sunday. This is the final day of the tournament. There's going to be 4 games. Because after tonight, we'll be down to the final 4 for the semifinals, which will be on Monday. And then, of course, the championship game is Tuesday night. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Follow again along all day long at ACHA_ITHSW. We'll be bringing you all the coverage. And, of course, we'll have a recap show recorded for you tonight as well. That will be up tomorrow with Scott and myself. So until then, enjoy your Sunday. I'm going to leave the lake. I'm going to go to the ice rink and enjoy some hockey. Hope you do the same. Have a good one. Well, good Monday afternoon to you. Still in St. Louis, Missouri, the ACHA National Championship still going on. It is day 5. I'm here on a little field trip before I head to the Centene Community Ice Center. I'm here at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium, or just outside of it. This is the home of Lindenwood football here on the campus of Lindenwood University, about 10 minutes from the ice facility where we'll be heading to for the semifinals of the ACHA National Championships. 4 teams are left. Of course, Lindenwood is one of the teams that are involved, the number 1 seed. They'll be hosting Adrian tonight at 8 o'clock. Before that, though, we have the other semifinal matchup, and that'll feature UNLV. So fans out in Las Vegas excited about that. A WCHL team taking on another WCHL team. How about that? 2 of them in the Final 4 against each other. So we guarantee one will be in the finals, as they'll be taking on Central Oklahoma, who played 7 full periods yesterday, and then about a few seconds of an 8th period. So it's going to be real interesting to see how that game matches up with how their body is going to be at the start of this game, or as this game goes along. UNLV should have an advantage in that regard. They didn't have to play. They played an early morning game, so they have even a little bit of extra time before this game. So it should be exciting. It's going to be interesting. 4:45 is the first game at Central Time from Centene Community Ice Center, USA Arena. UNLV Central Oklahoma. Central Oklahoma, of course, has won the national championship a few years ago. UNLV will be looking for their first ever ACHA national championship. But of course, they've got 2 more wins to get before they can get that. Of course, Lindenwood, the heavy favorites to win the whole thing. They're in action as well, as they took care of Stony Brook easily last night. Of course, taking on Adrian, who also beat their opponent pretty easily. So it should be interesting, those 2 teams matching up and how they fare. But again, I got to get out of here. It's a nice campus, by the way, here at Lindenwood University. Just driving around and looking at some of the buildings. Pretty cool. But I've got to leave because I got to head to Centene now. Because the 4:45 game is going to be fast approaching. UNLV, Central Oklahoma, Lindenwood,
and Adrian. So you can watch on Hockey TV and, of course, follow along right here at ACHA_ITHSW. Take care. Well, it's my final day in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm at Busch Stadium. You know the Major League Baseball lockout is over. Spring training has begun, and soon the Major League Baseball season will be starting for the St. Louis Cardinals here at Busch Stadium and all across the Major League Baseball ballpark. So there'll be baseball to look forward to, but we still have a lot of hockey action still this year, rest of this spring and into the early summer, including one game left in the ACHA National Championship Division I championship game between Lindenwood, the #1 team in the ACHA. They've been all year long, and they're going to take on a University of Central Oklahoma team that's had quite a run so far, having the 5 overtime game they had to play in a couple of nights ago, the dramatic win against UNLV yesterday in the semifinals. Of course, they had an overtime game in their first game, so it's been quite a run for them, and we'll see how much energy is left in the gas tank, but I bet you they'll be ready to go for tonight, of course, against Lindenwood. It's going to be very tough. Coach Zombo said after last night's win that he thought last night's game was the best, and they won 6-1 against an Adrian team that was winning 14-0 and 7-1 against their opponents. They were the defending champs. Defending champs no more, as we'll have a new champion. For Lindenwood, it'll be their first since 2016, or for Central Oklahoma, it'll be their first since 2017. So we'll see who will capture the trophy, the Murdoch Cup, tonight at the Centene Community Ice Center in Maryland Heights, Missouri. 7 o'clock puck drop. You can watch it on Hockey TV. And, of course, follow along at ACHA_ITHSW for all the action. So we talk hockey now, and, of course, soon baseball on the horizon. But we've got ACHA hockey tonight, the championship in the Division I level of the ACHA. And we'll find out a winner if it's Lindenwood or if it's Central Oklahoma. They can pull off the upset. Of course, we'll also have a full recap of the whole tournament on our weekly podcast, the Great West College Hockey Podcast, which you can see on or listen to on Podbean live on Wednesday nights, and then, of course, next day archived wherever you get your podcast at ITHSW Podcast on any podcast platform. Well, that's it. I'd say play ball, but that's not appropriate, so we'll do play hockey, I guess, at 7 o'clock tonight from Centene. Until then, have a good afternoon.